the order, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ready to roll call, please.
Councilmember Robert Bauer. Councilmember Jerry Tveit.
Here.
Councilmember Joe Bauer.
Here.
Councilmember Rich Skorda. Mayor Steve Feldman.
Here. All right, moving on to tonight to approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion to approve that agenda?
I'll approve that motion, or I'll make the motion.
Okay, Mr. DeVay makes that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. DeVar makes a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion tonight to accept and adopt tonight's consent agenda?
I will make that motion.
Mr. Greenwald makes that motion. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Mr. DeVay makes a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Moving on to meeting open to the public. We have anybody there? Okay. Moving on to new business. Anoka County Economic Development Memorandum of Understanding.
Mayor and Council, before you tonight is a memorandum of understanding from our working with Anoka County and a new coordinated group for the purposes of economic development. It started over 18 months ago where staff annually coordinates an event, a broker's event, and our group was approached by the County Metro North Chamber and Connexus in regards to forming a larger partnership and looking at the strengths and weaknesses as a whole as a county and trying to get all of the cities on board and work together as a region to further economic development opportunities and taking a look at what each city has to offer and what each city does, and that way we can share resources and overall work together just for the benefit of creating jobs and that economic development piece. To date, all 21 cities and townships are on board. Anoka County hired a staff person to be a liaison that is overseen by an executive committee that is made up of the county representatives, Connexus, and cities. So there'll always be a direct city initiative behind this, direct city input behind this. At this time, they're asking that each city and township enter into an MOU and take that as the structure of how this group will proceed in regards to who the executive committee is, the terms of the committee and the executive committee members, and the participation. The second piece of this is also the cost sharing agreement. And as you can see, they broke it down through population, and St. Francis has a part of $424 would be our 2019 contribution to be part of this group. That does not pay for the county staff person. What that does is pay for the initiatives that the group does as a whole. So currently I am part of the marketing group, and we have worked from everything from a logo to a tagline, putting together a website. So this is something that the group will continue to move forward on, and the expenses that are collected through this annual kind of cost sharing agreement will go towards those items that are broken down into the different spending options that are being looked at. I would be happy to answer any other questions.
Well, I want to say to you, I like the idea of it, by the way. I think it's good to be proactive and try and help all these entities. But on the executive committee members, I just want to understand this. There's four County of Anoka members that have no voting rights. Do I understand? Okay.
Correct.
And then there's County of Anoka, Karen Skepper, who does have voting rights along with Connexus Energy, has one vote each. And then Columbia Heights and Coon Rapids, East Bethel, Line Lakes, they're the other voting members of the executive for the cities.
Correct.
Okay. And they'll be representing the input or giving input from our cities, the 21 cities total.
Correct.
And so did I see that there's a chamber, the chamber has a vote too then also?
Metro North Chamber, correct.
So there's basically 7 voting members.
Yes.
And then 4 that, okay. No, what I liked and what I read, I think it's a good idea. The cost is not that much, and it gives us a way to work, seeing other aspects and viewpoints of growth. That's a good thing. So, Joe, I'll turn over to you if you have questions.
I don't really have any questions, I guess. For me, I was just kind of curious as far as with the cost. Obviously, it's not really anything right now. Does this lock you into an agreement for a certain term of years, or?
Mayor and Council, we can get out of the agreement, so that is one thing a lot of the cities expressed concern is, one, the timing of the budget, and then also, making sure these costs don't go out of control. Being that they're asking all the 21 cities and townships to participate, they did put in there, we have the right to get out at any time. Getting out of this group wouldn't be something that we would never benefit. Being that it's a regional group, it's more of a fair share kind of a concept. We aren't being asked to pay for any of the staffing of this. The county is taking that whole portion on. And as these projects get, taken care of, or different, like the website gets taken care of, some of these costs will adjust annually. It shouldn't go much higher, but if it does, then we have that opportunity to decide not to pay.
And then how do we get out? Do we just notify them that we get out? There's no time period, like 30-day notice or something like that?
Yep, Mayor and Council, so in the voluntary cost sharing, it does, option 5 is we may opt out or cancel within 30 days to this county administrator, so we do have an option to get out.
Jerry, you have any input there?
Mr. Mayor, I think this is a good idea. I think anytime we can collaborate and, pool resources together for a common good, I think that's a good idea. I love the idea of regionalizations. This is county-wide, what it is, it's all jurisdictions working together. I think it's a good thing.
I just want to add to you that I think also, by the way, we have the comp plan every 10 years with the Met Council, but that's on a bigger scale. So this is more finite to our region, which I think is a benefit that way. If I'm right, am I right on that thinking?
Mayor and Council, correct. In some of the cities, we're going to use portions of this within their comp plan, so the timing has all been kind of strategic on purpose.
Yeah. And like I say again, with the Met being on a bigger scale, this has more possibilities of actually working out on a smaller scale, having more input from areas that are more directly in contact with us or affect us. So I like that. Okay. Do we need a motion on that, or just to go direction? Or do we have a motion? Motion for that? All right, do I have a motion tonight to approve or adopt the Milford County Economic Development Memorandum of Understanding?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make that motion to adopt this MOU.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Roberts, a second. Any further discussion on the issue? None? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. Okay, moving on to ordinance 244, second series, amending fee schedule, continue December 3rd. So we're just going to continue it. You have to do anything with a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion to continue, okay. Now in that case, do I have a motion to continue to December 3rd meeting, the ordinance 244, second series, amending fee schedule?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr.
Mr.
Mayor.
May takes a second. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I just want to point out that for anybody that's here tonight or listening, the reason why we're doing this is because we only have 3 people on the council present. And since an ordinance would need a minimum of 4/5 majority to pass, that's the reason why we're just pushing this back one meeting.
Very good, Jerry. Thank you for explaining that. That's clarifying. That's very good. All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. I take it, second meeting of the public, nobody? Or is there someone? No, okay, all right. Then we'll move on to department heads, department reports rather. Paul, you're up.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In your packets tonight are our monthly reports for Public Works for October. Just going through, we did have some vandalism in October in some of our parks. Consumed about 10 hours of time. It's unfortunate that we have that, but we deal with it as best we can. We were able to get our certified wood chips installed in our playgrounds, so that always helps provide that cushion in case a child falls. Also, a lot of recycling events occurred in October. We had some good turnouts, and a lot of folks showed up, even though the weather wasn't very cooperative on some of those events. So, also in your packets are our water and sewer reports. The Treatment plants continue, both treatment plants continue to operate very well, seeing high removals of all the constituents that were needing to get out of the water. So we did process our biosolids at our wastewater treatment plant last month. That went very well for the first time. So we know what we're up against for next year, and hopefully we'll be able to make a few things a little bit more efficient for next year. We also started our 4th grade tours. That's always exciting, getting those children out to see the water and the wastewater treatment plants. Get a lot of fun questions. So, with that, I'll answer any of your questions.
Well, I like what I saw here on the meter reads, we're down to 20, as we talked earlier, that's low. What you're saying is an average of 35 to 40, so that's good. And I also saw the lift station was a little less this time.
Yes, we had less lift station maintenance due to plugging, so that's a good thing. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
And the one member who would have liked that is not present to like that. But, yeah, that may change after the holidays, as you told me earlier, so. But all in all, I think everything's running the way it should be. Jerry, you have anything to say?
Yeah, just typically in the wintertime, we're going to see our lower water usage rates and stuff like that, typically in water treatment plants and wastewater treatment plants. When your water use goes down, then your wastewater use also goes down, typically. And in the winter months is when we would be doing our maintenance, cleaning, shutting down certain basins and cleaning them out and stuff like that. Paul, can you tell us what you have planned for maintenance this winter and what types of things might be getting
Sure.
done for the winter season?
We've already started some of that at our wastewater treatment plant. We pulled one of our clarifiers out of service, put the other one into full service, and are in the process of cleaning that out. We've already taken our UV disinfection out of service, so that will be focusing on cleaning all of that and going through that. Those are the two major things. Our biosolids, obviously, we pump them out and clean them tanks out. We're in the process of refilling those now. So at our water treatment plant, we will take down each filter one by one and make sure that we have the right amount of filter media in each, and that we're not having any issues with our underdrain system. We'll also take down our chlorine, our contact basins, and make sure that they're cleaned, that we don't have any extra settling happening in them. And then we'll also be servicing all of our high service pumps and blowers as well, oil changes and things like that. So.
Awesome.
Is there anything else?
No, that's it. And a lot of the information I knew, and then a lot of it I didn't. But it's always nice to inform the public on, you know, the seasonal changes of just because we're using less water doesn't mean these guys have any less time. In fact, it's, you know, they're probably busier because when something's filtering, water's going through a filter, there's not much they can really do to maintain that. It's just letting water go through the filter. But when the filter's taken out of service and cleaned and chlorinated and inspected and stuff for the filter media, then that's actually when the work starts and where the rubber meets the road. So, you know, I think Paul's doing a great job there.
No, I have to agree. I think those guys do a great job. Joe, anything to say?
You got nothing, Paul?
No. I will add at this time, by the way, good report though. I like how you break it down. Very good. But I also told the public that, was it about a week ago? Did we do it last week or the week before that we had a tour with the Met Council came out? About a week ago. We had a 3-hour tour with the Met Council who came out to look at our facility. They were so impressed at some of the technology we use, they actually took pictures of the technology to bring over to their plant in the Met region. They also asked if they could bring other engineers out to look at our plant, which of course I asked, I told them to have an open door policy to plan up the tour with Paul. We're doing that on the thought that sometime down the road, there may be some kind of regionalization through that. I can't guarantee that. I make no promises of any kind. But one of the reasons that Andover and Blaine pay in 3 months what we pay in 1 month is because they're hooked to that region, which has hundreds of thousands of users on it. So if there is ever the potential or possibility that we can hook to that region under some negotiations that are beneficially mutual to both sides, I'm definitely going to look at it with this council and Public Works and that to see if that can come to fruition. We have lowered the rates 20%. It's a good start, as I've said on the campaign trail. It's something we want to maintain and hopefully be able to drive down lower. That is our goal. That's what we got elected 2 years ago, and we'll continue that thought. So, but once again, this was a good start. We were told 3 years ago that the Met Council wouldn't return a phone call. We have been talking to them ever since. So we will continue that communication with them as long as I'm there and this council sits in administration. So just to let you know that. But it was a very good tour, by the way. I thought Brian from our staff did a great job explaining the ins and outs of wastewater, which is beyond me. So moving on, that's about it on your end right there, Paul?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now I will move on to council member reports. Jerry.
This is going to be a short week for everybody. Thanksgiving, the holidays are coming up. You know, everybody enjoy the family. Don't end up hurting anybody, because if you have a family like I have, you want to end up, knocking somebody upside the head. But well, everybody's got that type of family. I don't know, I'm normal. But I want everybody to enjoy the holiday season, and enjoy their holidays, their Thanksgiving, and their turkey, and whatever they have. Be careful to drive out there, drive safely. It's going to be crazy this weekend with Black Friday going on, and people driving all over. So, yeah, just be safe. It's getting dark early. Kids are running around. They're going to be out of school. Just be safe.
I don't have a lot to report other than that we all attended a couple work sessions. I will say that I won't be here for the next meeting. I'll be out of town. Other than that, I've just been busy with work, working an insane amount of hours. So that's about it.
It's going to be a busy time too.
All right, well, I just want to say to everybody, first of all, when the newsletters go out, please read the newsletters. All departments give information on those newsletters, as I do as the mayor. As I told people on campaign trail, I actually write my mayor's report. It's not a form letter, so I actually put in things I think you need to know about. So please read those newsletters. Just don't throw them away, because they are an informative piece of medium that you can find out what we're doing in the city. Also, I want to inform everybody that our police chief told me that we have 731 people that signed up for VIXL. Very good. Part of that payment, having those sheets out, might have paid off a little bit. But I will say to you that last year we had 20, and this year we have 731. So it just shows you that once we started promoting it, it does work. I got a lot of good compliments on that. In fact, I was talking to one individual, and there was an alert that came on at the same time I was talking to him, so he signed up right away on my phone anyways, and saw he signed up. So anyway, that's one good thing we're doing. Might have been a mistake in the beginning when we signed on, because we had so many other things on our plate, we didn't have really time to promote it. Once we started promoting it, we went to a big number, which is good. Landlines were already on, so we've done very good. I also want to tell you that we are looking into a lot of different things to lower rates here, and this is always going to be an ongoing situation with us. Once again, we got elected 2 years ago, Mr. Neubauer and myself on this council, and we're going to continue that momentum, looking into getting these rates lower. It won't happen overnight. Nothing does happen overnight in government, so be patient, but know that we're working on it. Excuse me. Also, as far as problems that you have, and I address this in our newsletters, and I've said it multiple times at council meetings. I know my staff has heard it more than once, and hoping that I can get it into the public's mindset. If you have a question or concern, you need to call the city hall first before you build that deck, before you build that shed, before you do anything. Make the phone call. It's a lot easier to do that than to not do it and then having to pay a fine or a penalty because you didn't call it back. The city is here to help you, not hurt you. So all you really have to do, call ahead and see, is this a permit issue? How much is the permit? And what process it is to go through and all that. If you do that, I think you'll save yourselves a lot of bumps and bruises and help the council from not having to make a decision based on a situation where it's gone too far and built up into too much money, and then you're mad, and then we don't get anything solved that way. So once again, I can't emphasize enough for you to come forth, call first before you dig that footing hole in the ground. Get your plan together, bring it in the city, if it's for a deck, for siding, whatever it may be. Once again, by state law, I can only tell this to the contractor, state law requires a permit for everything. Whether I agree with that or not is another issue, but the fact of it is it does require it. So make the phone call. Make it easier on yourself, make it easier on us. The city is not out to fine you to make money. We're out to grow to make money through a large increase in the tax base, not to fine you because of mistakes we made on both sides or on your side by not making a simple phone call. So once again, I would reiterate that. I would say, you're here. Rich Squirrel just walked in, so I will give you an opportunity. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Anyways, as Jerry said before here, it's a holiday season. There's the Christmas right after this. Of course, there's the Cyber Mondays and the Black Fridays and everything else people are going off the rushes for. I can only say to you, I can't emphasize enough that with again getting darker earlier, drive carefully, be safe, think wisely and smart before you go out. If you're having a couple cocktails, think about it when you're going home. I know in our off-week packets, we always see DUIs in that off-week packet. I think at this late stage in the time frame and all that, think before you go out. You have a designated driver, or limit yourself to 1 or 2 cocktails as a time to work it off with a meal and time before you go home. Be smart, be safe, and enjoy the holidays. And get through them the best you can, and enjoy your families, because that's what this is really all about. On that, I'm going to pass this over to Richard. Came a little late to see if you have anything on the council member report you want to say at all.
No, other than thank your lucky stars you don't live in New Jersey.
Okay, I'll take that for a plus. Okay. Anyways, once again, I can just tell you that also some of the things on these abatements that we've dealt with in the last meeting and all that is something the council really doesn't want to have to do, but it's forced to do. Before you get to that level of months of fines and stuff like that, again, talk to the city. We are workable people. Community development director is workable along with our city administrator and our whole staff put together. We're not out to make money off fining you. That's not our purpose here. But when you don't follow the policies that are in place, it forces our hand to do what we have to do by law, and that's why you get to the situation you're in. So don't blame the city because you let something go so long and the fines got built up. Work with the city, and we can work and make it better for everybody. I think it's a real good thing.
You know, Mr. Mayor, that kind of jogged my memory a little bit. I had a resident give me a call about a tent that they erected in their backyard.
And I responded to them.
Okay, and I didn't respond. I didn't know that you responded. Just so the rest of the council knows what everybody's saying. I mean, in the past, what I've done is I've tried to tag everybody on a thread. And that's fine. It's not a chain email as long as we tag, you know, Barb and Joe and stuff like that. That way, everybody knows what's being said. Just because I don't want to contradict what. Oh yeah, I think we'll work with you, and all of a sudden, you know, Joe says, no man, we ain't doing nothing. We're not doing that. And, you know, that way the citizens getting one information.
I agree.
You know, so yeah, it could that just be a practice or a policy, you know, going forward? I mean, anytime I think we respond to, unless it's, you know, something personal in nature, but I mean, a policy such as this, I mean, I got an email, and I didn't know that you responded. I was going to respond.
Actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know that it went to anybody else. I found out later on it went to Joe, but when I got my email, it said to me, it was addressed to me only. Usually it's just to all of us.
Personalized.
So it was a personalized email, so I didn't even know that it went to anybody else. I thought it was just to me again, so I responded.
Okay.
I had called Kate up to find some information out from her, and then I related it to him. And that was another thing, by the way, as I mentioned to you a little earlier here, about a call, as I stated in the email to him, a call to the city would avoid all that he went through. If he would have just called, but he didn't call. Sometimes I believe that people, of course, you know, I'm not going to say outright, I'll put it like this. I don't believe that some people think they have to pull a permit, but you need to know if you have to pull a permit. You can't, ignorance is not an excuse. So to me, if you're in doubt, check it out.
Yep.
It really does pay. I agree with you as far as that, but the way it was sent to me, I did not think that all the council was involved, and that's why I did it. But once again, ignorance is not an excuse, so be safe, be careful, be smart, check with the city. The city's gonna tell you, yes, you have to pull a permit, here's the process you have to go through, and then you go through it, and you'll find out what the amount is you have to pay. Like a deck is not a flat rate. A deck goes by square footage, and so it has to go through the building official to size it up and everything, give it a valuation, all that, and then it comes down to the permit. So, I know this one gentleman, that we talked to in abatement, the actual permit was only $216, but it built up to almost, about 9 times more than that through, him skirting the issue. That's the problem. So you come back on us that you're mad at us, but really it starts with you, and hopefully we can work it together to make it better. Like I say again, I can't reiterate enough, emphasize enough rather that we're not out to make money off fines. What we're out to do is bring revenue to the city through expansion, promotion, promoting the city, and increase our user base, which will drive our rates down and be easier for everybody to pay bills. Because the pie will slice smaller, thinner and thinner. So that's our real goal here, not to see who we can find and build those fines up. That's not our goal. Anything else by anybody on this? That's a good point, Jerry. There's nobody? No? Anybody from staff? I know it's a little earlier for meeting adjournment, but as I've stated many times before, meetings will go as long as it takes to do the city's business, whether it be 1 hour, half hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or 4 hours. So we just got done with the work session last week for 3 hours. 1 hour? For tree lighting? Oh, no. Okay. You could have done that. November 28th, there's a tree lighting in Woodbury Park from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's also on our website. But again, November 28th, tree lighting, Woodbury Park. Next city council meeting will be on December 3rd. Once again, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Don't fill up too much on turkey. I always say that. Anyways, any other business from staff at all? Anything at all from anybody?
They want to get out of here too, Mr. Mayor.
Then I can call this meeting adjourned at 6:27.